Good morning. My name is Jay Rothman, and welcome to Real Men, Real Talk, Raw. I am still having, believe it or not, good morning on Sunday morning. I'm having some audio issues, some audio challenges right now. So I am going to switch this over to another device, and we'll get this going here. Please bear with us for a moment. Be patient. Good morning, Trevor. Can you hear me?
Hey, yeah, can you hear me?
I can.
Good morning.
How
are
are
you
you?
today?
Pretty good. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing well. I am excited to have you in the studio this morning, coming in live from North Scottsdale. I'm going to take myself off my laptop.
Cool.
You can still hear me right now, right?
Yep.
All right. Well, welcome to the studio on Real Men, Real Talk, Raw. It is actually Saturday morning in the U.S., 12 noon, high noon on the East Coast. If you're coming in from overseas, thank you so much for joining both Trevor and myself. Trevor, I am so excited to have you in the studio. I do want to preference that my intention is always to set a safe environment for my guests. If at any time I should ask you a question that you're not comfortable to answer, you could set a loving boundary with me and just say I'm just not ready to answer that question, and I will respect you for that. Other than that, I'm so excited to have you in the studio. I'm coming off of a show yesterday, a show that for me meant a lot of hope. I had Josh Richard in the studio, and he's the gentleman that is he's the executive producer as well as art director for Shark Tank. And for me, what the show was about yesterday was hope that no matter who we are, no matter what we got going on in our life, when we're dealing with challenges in our personal life and we're struggling and we hit a rock bottom of sorts, the hope is that if we want to change our life, if we want to improve, all we have to do is just be willing to surrender. And it looks like you had a late night. Were you out celebrating or having a party last night to celebrate?
Yeah,
What you're about to share?
we had a going away party and it went pretty late.
Yeah. So, and the hope for me today with you, my friend, is that you are the next generation. You are a high school graduate. You turned 18 in the last 12 months or less, and you just graduated. Congratulations from high school in Scottsdale, Arizona. And in this moment, you are about to embark on an incredible journey, an adventure of sorts. But before we go there, what I would like to do is share with the audience in the community. Thank you for joining us today. For those of you that are coming in from the US or overseas, let us know what part of the world you are, in fact, coming in from. However, what I would like to do is just take a moment to kind of rewind here, Trevor, and talk about how you and I met. It wasn't just a couple of 24 hours ago, maybe 6 months or 7 months ago or longer, that decided to go eat some New York style Italian food in a restaurant called Lorenzo's Pizzeria in right down the street from where I live. And we walked into the restaurant, and Mary and I sat down, and you walked over the table and you said good evening of sorts. And we greeted each other. We said hi. And I asked you, I said, how are you doing? And your response to me just changed everything in that moment for me. And your response was, I am doing well. And it wasn't just the words you spoke, but it was the energy with which you spoke those words that just struck me. And I looked up at you and I said, really? Tell me more. And so began our conversation and a friendship that immediately there was this connection between us. And as the evening went on, we ended up by the end of our dinner. You sat down with us at our table, I believe, and we talked, we chatted about life, and we went way deeper than I could ever have anticipated with a young man of your age. And so at that moment, I shared with you what I do is hike and heal experiences, and I gave you one of my cards, and I said, anytime you want to get together and hike, I asked you if you enjoy being outdoors, and you said, are you basically, if I may paraphrase you said, are you kidding me? I love hiking. As a matter of fact, I'm learning how to rock climb. And so it wasn't just a couple of months later, we kept in touch, and you actually booked the hike and heal experience with me. And we hiked the second highest peak, mountain peak in the Valley of Phoenix, it used to be called Squaw Peak. Now it's called Piestewa Peak in Phoenix. And we actually have kept in touch over the balance of your school year. And so I would like to invite you, Trevor, to share from your perspective what it was like, because I just shared my experience. I was blown away by your presence, by your energy, by your incredible positive attitude. And I don't think too many of us have that experience when we may meet a high school senior, a stranger that we've never met before. But I was so impressed by your presence and your energy that I was like, I need to get to know you better. So I just shared from my perspective what it was like meeting you for the first time. I would like for you to share from your perspective what it was like to meet both Mary and myself the first time around, and why it was that you actually did reach out and do a hike and heal experience. What was that like for you?
You guys just seem totally right up my alley. You're so kind, really nice, genuine people. I don't remember what we talked about exactly. It was so long ago, but I remember it was just a really powerful conversation that I thought about on the drive home from work. And I looked at your clothing line that you guys do, and I thought those were really important. Choose hope, choose growth, choose change, all that stuff. And then I figured that the hike and heal sounded right up my alley. Sounded perfect for me. So after that, I knew that you guys were my type of people.
Well, I knew right away that you were my type of people for a few reasons. One, as I just shared. The other one that I find really interesting is, although you may be hooked into social media, and you may be into gaming. I never asked you about gaming. However, but therein lies again that I think you kind of march to your own drumbeat. You know, you do things the way you want to do it, not necessarily the way your peer group, the kids your age, you know, the young men and women. You kind of broke the mold in some way. I'd like for you to share with us, what are the things that you are in fact passionate about in life, and how do you like to spend your time? What's your typical day look like for Trevor Korn?
All right. Well, meditation is huge. At least I don't like to put a time on it, but like 30 minutes to an hour of that just spread out throughout the day really helps you get in the right mental space for whatever. Hiking, I try and do Pinnacle Peak. That's just my most local hike every day. It's amazing, and it'll be definitely one of the things that I'll miss most. And spending time with people who really matter, like my sister and then a couple of close friends I just went on a road trip with. And rock climbing is awesome. I like going to the gym, but I really enjoy climbing outdoors. I get to climb outside in 3 different states. So
What is it about rock climbing that you enjoy? Because it's not like a typical sport that the average person decides they want to take up. And I refer to it as a sport. Perhaps maybe for some people it is a sport, but what is it for you? What do you take away from the experience when you've got, and I presume, I don't know how much free solo you do, like Alex did at Yosemite.
I'm not quite there yet. Not doing that. That seems a little terrifying, but I respect it because that'd be a really interesting space. Because most of the time you climb, you don't fall. You're still using a rope in case you do. So it'd be interesting to do it without the rope, I guess. But I also don't want to fall. So I find climbing just managing fear, I guess, is the best way to describe it. Because when you're climbing, I climbed up a 90-foot route in Utah a couple of weeks ago, and it was really difficultly rated, but I really wanted to try it. So just managing fear up there, because you can, as you clip into bolts that are drilled into the wall, that whoever climbed it first, the ascension is put in there, you're safe, but you still climb above it. So you know if you fall, you're gonna fall 5-10 feet. But just managing that fear, being like, it's okay if I fall, just focus, breathe. All my quick draws, which you use to connect the rope to the wall, to the bolts in the wall, have words on them. It says climb, send, breathe, focus, relax, and there's one more. Maybe it's believe. So managing fear, probably like that.
What is belief? What's about that word?
Oh, it's just another word for faith.
Okay. So believe that you can make it to the top of the rock, or what's behind that for you? What is it that how does it motivate you?
Specifically for that, it would be believe that you're safe. Um, believe in your abilities, that you can do it if you are really trying and really focusing on. Sometimes it's difficult to focus on the specific moves you're making to climb and not focus on what happens if you fall. So I guess just believing in your abilities.
If I understood you correctly, the process that you took initially, you didn't just like wake up one day and buy a pair of ropes and decide to rock climb the closest trail to where you live, which I believe may in fact either be Tom's Thumb or Pinnacle Peak. However, what you did was you were very responsible in the sense that you actually joined a rock climbing gym where you could train and you could learn how to rock climb. You just didn't you just didn't decide to go out and start climbing and learn in an actual nature environment, but you went to
I would have,
school for it.
yeah, that would have been bad.
Okay. Is that right? You actually did sign up and start
Yeah,
training on
I started climbing at the gym and training there, and then I took a few classes with some friends just to kind of make sure I had the basics down. But after that, we got outside pretty quickly.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to see if I can get us both on screen right now, because it appears as though we're not both on screen together. Where's my tech guys when I need them? I'm gonna rotate the camera right now, so just hang in there. There we go. That may work now. Well, we'll see. But in any event, maybe if someone there knows how to do that, because I really want to get us both on the screen together. Since we've been doing this together for some time now. In any event, the first time you went rock climbing on the wall, can you describe what that felt like for you from an emotional standpoint and a physical standpoint?
I would say the first time in the gym was less scary because I figured it was safe. It's a gym. They make millions and millions of dollars. Not a lot of people get hurt there. So I figured I was safe, but it was still, I guess, managing more of an irrational fear. Like, oh no, what if I fall? It's going to hurt.
Uh-huh.
And also, you're just not very good the first time you go. Like, you're climbing really easy, like stuff that little kids do. So just dealing with that, I guess. First time I went climbing outdoors, it was managing a rational fear. It was like, okay, you need to make sure you do everything right. You need to really focus on what you're doing, not in the gym. You need to wear a helmet. You need to kind of just be present for it completely. So that was a shift too.
You mentioned that you meditate. How did you get introduced to meditation, and why do you meditate?
I meditate because it's good for me and the people around me. Something that meditation has taught me. And I just use Headspace on my phone. I just like bought the premium Headspace after I used the trial version or whatever. And I just came to enjoy it a lot. It's a good way to start your day and end your day. And just like 3 or 5 minutes during the day makes a big difference on your mood.
On your mood, is it like does it help calm you down? Like do you have like well, when you say it helps with your mood, how does it impact your mood? Does it give you some sense of balance?
Yeah, I would say balance and inner peace, and makes me excited, makes me take into account what's happening, gets me off of my phone, and stops me from doing some of the behaviors I don't like so much, like just like swiping away my phone or lying around in bed, not really doing much. It gets me more active for sure.
Who turned you on to meditation? Was it something that your mom or dad introduced you to, or a friend, or?
No, I was just curious about it. I guess I'd heard about it on TV or from people, but I don't know exactly. I remember probably an advertisement for it actually. And then I started doing it and I just started really appreciating it.
Oh, by the way, Trevor, I'd like to let you know that you are the second youngest guest that I have interviewed. The youngest guest was Takwa, coming in from Pakistan, 12-year-old young lady who's now 13. She just celebrated her birthday recently. But you're the second youngest guest in the show. However, that's just a chronological number because I don't believe that you are really an 18-year-old young man. You may be by birth year, but you certainly have a whole lot more wisdom and intuition than a typical 18-year-old young man has, and that is a compliment. I have met a number of, of course, I have my own three sons, and I watch them navigate through their teen years and all, and I'm just so impressed with how you show up for yourself every day. Where I'd like to go with this interview at this moment, this conversation is, what has been your experience as far as you knew you were approaching the final days of 12th grade in high school? You had to make some decisions for yourself, such as, now what? What is it that I think I'm supposed to do? What is it that perhaps maybe my parents want me to do? And what is it that I feel is right for me to do? I'd like to invite you to kind of share that process with me, what that was like for you, and how you navigated to the decisions that you have made for yourself that may not be aligned with traditional society's belief system on what a high school senior is supposed to do in the year 2019. It's all yours, brother.
All right. Well, I thought that I would end up high school and have a really good summer and then go to college and get a 4-year education. And then immediately after college, start looking for jobs, do that regular stuff. But I'm mostly just interested in cinematography and film. So I road tripped around California with my dad and my sister, looking at a couple different film schools. And it turned out it was just too expensive for what it was. It was like $90,000 for a 2-year program, or like huge numbers like that. And I didn't see the point in putting myself in that much staggering debt. So I decided that Northern Arizona University would probably be the best option. But I mean, I couldn't get excited about that really. I was moving 2 hours north to a school that's not really known for anything except its hotel management degrees. So really didn't seem like something for me. And it's where all my friends are going. So it's definitely a tough decision. But I decided that some time living abroad would be the best for me growth wise. I thought that's something that I could do and I could put all my passion, all my energy into and really care about. Because I love learning and I love reading, but school isn't really where I learn the most. But yeah, I really, really enjoy learning and I want to continue to learn. I just want to do it in a different way.
What are your areas of interest today? What is it that you are seeking to learn about today?
I guess I'm just always trying to learn. I want to take a bunch of college classes when I'm living in another country. I want to learn the language. I'm trying to read 50 books this summer. I'm doing okay. I read about 18.
Whoa. I want to make sure that I heard that right. You didn't say 5 books.
No, 15 so far.
How do you do that? How could you accomplish that one?
Just reading. You just read.
So you just set that intention for yourself.
Yeah, at the beginning of the summer. And it's been more difficult than I thought because I've been reading really long, like thick books. This is the book I'm reading right now. It's like 350 pages. So they're not like small books, but I mean, I figured as long as I'm reading, doesn't matter how long it takes me to read 50, but that's the goal.
So do you skim the books? Do you skip chapters? You just like, because
No,
there's some people that have that technique. They're able to do it. Jay Shetty, one of my coaches, that's how he reads so many books. He doesn't read every line. He just I think intuition just tells him what to be reading, and he just reads enough to get the message out of the book, and then he moves on.
No, I don't think that would work for me. I'm kind of a perfectionist. I'd have to read the whole thing for sure. So I'm a fast reader. If I sit down for 2 hours, I can easily cover like 150 or more pages. But yeah, reading the whole thing, I guess just finding time.
Okay. What type of books do you like to read?
Fiction mostly, but I like historical fiction, and I just read Siddhartha by Herman Hesse. It's like Buddhist fiction, all kinds of stuff.
Very good. Um, are you, is this a passion of yours because you are looking to be really well educated, or because you're looking to learn more about what's important for you and in your life and how you want to live your life? Or is it a combination
Um,
of both?
it's definitely a combination of both. I love learning. I love taking new information. So, I mean, reading, and I just think reading is really good for you.
Okay. Going back to making a decision to not go to college at this point in time, how did that sit with your family members?
Um, they kind of understood it, especially my dad and my sister, because they were with me in Los Angeles and San Francisco. Just like after the tour, we would have our minds blown. Like, wow, I want to go to school here. I really want to use these cameras and use these green screens and all of these amazing sound editing rooms. And then they tell you, oh, you can get this 13-month certificate program. It'll cost you $75,000. And you're not coming out of it with any job guarantee. You're just coming out of it with the knowledge and no experience, I guess, for $75,000 that we don't have to spend. So they kind of understood, and they knew that I was not feeling NAU, because that's the reason we went on the road trip in the first place. It's like, oh, I want to research schools in California and figure out what else I can do. I love to travel, and I spent so much time in Flagstaff already, just going up there on the weekends for day trips or camping there a couple times a month, and I just wanted a bigger change.
For those of you that are not aware, it looks like Trevor is rocking back and forth. Trevor is actually sitting in a hammock.
Yeah.
And that's beautiful to see. I bought a hammock about 2.5, 3 years ago, and I used to carry it with me. And many days we'd find just a tree. We needed 2 trees or 2 limbs on a tree. And we would just hook it up to a tree along the shoreline of Huntington Beach. And we'd have our own books with us, and or we'd have an external
Love
speaker,
that.
and we would be reading together. We, as in Mary and myself, along our healing journey. And so if we weren't reading chapters together on how to become the best versions of ourselves and healing and becoming more enlightened, we'd be listening to YouTube videos of some of our coaches and mentors. But we also showed up ready with that hammock, and it did some traveling with us. No matter where we were, we tended to take it with us if we knew that we were going to be able to find a space where we can just set up and just be in a moment. And so is that something are you planning on bringing your hammock with you? Or is it going to fit in your luggage?
Yeah, it'll fit in my luggage. Definitely made room for it. I just got back from a road trip across the Southwest with some friends and spent 5 days sleeping in this hammock, and it's pretty comfortable. I think it's really good for your back because I felt like pretty stretched out. But yeah, I enjoy it, and I set it up in my room about a year ago. There's just big. They're actually climbing bolts, but they're drilled into my walls, so I sleep in here sometimes. But it's comfortable. It's a good chair.
Yeah, beautiful. So you shared that your mom and dad approved of it. They supported you, I should say, in your decision. Tell me about some of your peers, some of your friends or students that you went to school with. How did they react to you when you have shared with them the choices that you have made for yourself?
I guess for the most part, I can say they supported it. A lot of my friends wanted me, because I mentioned a lot of my friends are going to Northern Arizona University. A lot of them wanted me to come with and maybe room with them, or at least spend a bunch of time with them and be able to hang out on weekends and go on trips together for spring break and winter break and all the vacations from school. But to me, it sounded like a lot more what we were doing in high school, and I needed a little bit more change, a little bit more growth than that. But for the most part, they supported it. People were a little bit confused, I guess. They're like, wait, why are you doing that? And I got pretty good at explaining it. So for the most part, people supported it.
what country have you decided that you are going to be landing in? Where are you going to call home for the next 12 months or so?
I'm moving to Bavaria in Germany, so Eastern Germany.
And what do you have set up? What are you going to be doing for during the daytime for work?
I'll be working as an English teacher and au pairing for a family, so that's my place to stay. Just helping them out with the kids, I guess. Twin daughters are turning 9 this year, so that's a really fun age because I worked with kids a lot at my most recent job. Not at the pizza place, but working at the climbing gym. I worked with kids every single day for summer camp, all day, and just sort of realized that that's one of the areas that I'm really good at. I think kids are really honest and usually fun to hang out with, at least for a job. And then hopefully working as an English teacher during the daytime for some extra money. And then I'll still have plenty of time to travel. I'm going to get my Euro pass and try and see a lot of the country and all the surrounding countries. It's really close together.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah, I'd say one of the biggest concerns that a lot of people have is how much they're going to miss their family and friends, not really knowing what they're walking into with a lot of intrepidation and the unknown. One of the things that you and I talked about when we took a hike just a couple of days ago was I shared with you that one of the guests that did a hike and heal with me had shared her backstory of that her sister had moved overseas, and there was a lot of concern between the two of them because they were best friends. And she was there for about 3.5, 4 years, and there was a lot of sadness and all. And I asked her, I said, how often did you guys video chat? And she said, video chat? Like, what are you talking about? She goes, we would just talk using the phone. And I shared with her that, the technology that's available today, like what we're doing today, we're having a video chat live on Facebook through Zoom, but we are connecting. We're able to see each other and connect in a much more intimate way than if you were just by phone. And most of my friends that I speak with today and people that I coach overseas and across the US, I do it through video chat. I very rarely use the phone anymore because it's a form of detachment where we're speaking but we're not connecting. And connecting is what life is all about. It's about connecting at the highest self level, person to person, being able to see each other, being able to see you swinging back and forth and enjoying this moment is so much better, so much more fruitful than just hearing each other's voices on a phone. And so I share this with you. I told you this the same story the other day because even though you may not be physically being able to touch each other, you can touch each other, your friends, your family members, your mom, your dad, your sister, and your friends through a video chat for free on WhatsApp or Skype or any of the other apps that don't cost any money. And so it's just a choice. And so we never are alone. We never have to be alone. That's a choice to live within the confines of our own mind. And I suspect that that's not going to be a challenge for you to use video chat to connect and stay close to the people at home that are important in your life.
Yeah, I mean, I'm planning for FaceTime my sister, my dad, and my mom every single day. Definitely my sister every single day. And hopefully we'll be able to visit each other a lot too, because she wants to come over and visit me within a month of me being in Germany. And then I'm flying home. I'm going to LA actually for a music festival with my dad and my sister. And then hopefully I can have some friends come over in October for Oktoberfest, because that's the big beer and music festival that's held in my town. And we'll see what else happens. But I've invited plenty of people to come and visit, so hopefully I'll get to continue some of the relationships I already have and definitely meet some amazing new people.
Now you mentioned your sister a few times, and what is your sister's name, by the way?
Becca.
Becca. And I'd love for you to share a little bit about how old Becca is and your relationship with her, because it's not that common to hear an 18-year-old young man continue to express his relationship with a sibling the way you have. And so tell me a little bit about your relationship with your sister, how old she is, and why she's important in your life today.
She's 2 years younger than me. She's 16. One of my best friends. I hang out with her more than anyone else. We spend a lot of time together. We're really similar in a lot of ways, and then really different in a lot of more unique ways. She's a really good person to be around, and we party together a lot. And she likes my friends, so she hangs out with us. It's a pretty cool situation. I'm really, really grateful.
Wow, that's beautiful, Trevor. How is your sister at this point emotionally managing the separation, the physical separation that you are about to embark on in your relationship with her? How's she managing her emotions right now? Has she expressed to you, or she shared with you how she's processing this moment in time?
She is really happy for me. She's made that super clear over the last, I've known for about 2 or 3 months that I'm going to be leaving tomorrow. And she's sad. She's happy for me, but at the same time, she's sad.
Okay. Have you had that conversation with your mom yet? Have you said goodbye for now, or when are you planning on getting together with them one last time today?
Yeah, I mean, I don't leave until tomorrow night, so I get to spend some time I'm spending some time with my dad and his girlfriend today, and then I'll spend a lot of time with my mom tomorrow, hopefully later today and tomorrow. And then me and my sister are just gonna stay up all night tonight and hang out like we did yesterday.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So now that we've spent some amount of time this morning in this conversation, I'm curious, how are you feeling emotionally right now, as opposed to before you came on live with me? Were you nervous then, and how do you feel now?
I don't think I was nervous then, but I'm definitely more relaxed now. It's always nice talking to you.
Thank you. Thank you. I've really enjoyed developing this relationship with you, like I shared earlier in our conversation. You are a very, very special young man. It's not every day that I say that. I believe we all are special because we are beautiful human beings at our core, at our soul, at our heart level. But what has always impressed me about you, Trevor, is where you are at in your own process of learning and growing about who you are and who you want to be, and the choices you make on a day-to-day basis and how you show up for yourself. I notice it looks like you're drinking some water. You're not drinking a Diet Coke or a Coke right now.
It's true.
It's true. I was just curious. Tell me a little bit about your nutrition. How do you eat? You think you're a healthy eater, or you just eat whatever you want to eat?
Definitely a healthy eater. I probably don't eat enough. For breakfast, I'll have a smoothie with like a pound of mango in it, and then vegetarian protein and chia seeds and turmeric and bee pollen, all the like powders and stuff. Everything that's really good for you. I'll have 1 or 2 of those a day and 2 gallons of water minimum, like a lot of water.
Whoa, wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, I do hot yoga a lot, so I mean, I sweat a lot of it out. And with the hiking and the heat here, it's basically the same thing. You need to drink a lot of water, and it's just really good for you. It flushes you out. And then I'll have like 1.5, 2 other meals during the day. Mostly, like I'll probably have a big salad for lunch or something, and then I really want to go vegetarian after I move because I think that that's kind of just the way that people are moving towards, because meat isn't really that sustainable. It's just the entire meat industry is horrible for the environment, and not to mention it's not good for the cows and the chickens that we're eating either. So I really want to go vegetarian, but I love everything, so I think it should be easy enough. And like last night I had chicken and potato salad and like spinach, like just like the minimum, like the necessities, I guess.
Yeah. And did you not feel so good after you ate that chicken and potato salad? Like, were you aware of how you felt afterwards?
Yeah, I guess I felt full for sure. I guess that's the only way you can describe it.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So, what I'd like to do is shift into high gear now, take you up the rock, and climb with you to the peak in this moment, and ask you this, Trevor. Um, you're a human being, and so that means that um, we have to face our fears. We have to face our thoughts. Fears come from our thoughts of uncertainty about the future because it hasn't happened yet. How how have you faced and navigated through the decision that you made to pack your bags and head out overseas to experience life on a different land, on a different soil, and navigate in a country where English is not the first language, and all that's going to come with this experience, this new adventure of climbing to a higher peak than you are living in right now, which is a very very comfortable lifestyle you experience on a day-to-day basis. You know where to go to get what you need to be filled up. How have you navigated through your own fears of this moment in time?
Um, More traveling is probably just the way that I've become less scared. I spent 2 weeks in Colorado just staying with a friend and figuring stuff out there. I mean, English is still a spoken language and obviously a little bit easier, but figuring out where I had to go, figuring out a new climbing gym, the surrounding area, figuring out where I enjoyed to be, and then being on the road with a couple of best friends, just living out of the car pretty much wherever we go, we can set up camp and that's our home for the night. Just really interesting self-discovery tools for sure. Like I was more fearful, more anxious about leaving when I left Arizona with 22 days and then coming back with 6 days before I had to leave. It's been totally different.
How do you navigate through those moments when you are aware that you are having thoughts of fear, of uncertainty? How do you walk through? How do you work through those
Um,
moments?
I just think about the little stuff. I think about the fact that my city is the biggest bouldering gym in the world, just 40 minutes outside of it. And I think about the fact that there's already a couple people there that I don't know well, but that I did spend a week with in New York City last summer. So maybe reconnect with them. And I think about community college classes where I'll be meeting other students. And I think about just getting to know the family better. I think about just the little stuff over there because it's usually just the big things that freak you out, not all that little mundane stuff that's going to be amazing just because it's going to be so new.
The What does the word gratitude mean to you, and how have you embraced the word gratitude in your life today?
Um, Gratitude is just being appreciative for where you are right now. I guess just like the present moment, the people you're with, what you're doing, like right now.
How have you include it in any type of practice for yourself?
Explain.
Well, one of the tools, it's a tool that I started to use early on in my own healing journey, is that when I would, let's say, in a thought, be in a low vibrational thought, or fear, darkness, once I have the awareness that I'm there, that I'm in a space that's uncomfortable, that's not serving me well, I'm able to then flip to ask myself, what am I grateful for in this moment? I create a visual gratitude list for myself in a moment. I just saw I just saw your face just smile. What just hit you?
Um, I just think that's a good idea. I definitely just try and focus on physically what's around me, what I'm smelling, what I'm hearing, where I am, what I'm feeling, and usually that just leads to some pretty intense enjoyment and just a good feeling. But I think it's definitely important just to think about everything in your life that you're grateful for. Like right now, I'm grateful to be talking to you. I'm grateful to be in my room for tonight's my last night sleeping in my own room. forever because my dad and my sister are gonna move after I leave. So just enjoying where I am, the space I'm in, mentally enjoying being so comfortable and so excited and just so ready for this awesome change. I
Yeah.
like that. You go through everything you're grateful for.
One of the other tools that many people that are seeking self-discovery and healing their own mind, body, and soul is they have an I am, which is part of daily affirmations when they affirm something about themselves that is positive. I don't know if today you have your I ams or not, but it's a way for you to affirm something very positive about yourself. Could you, in this moment, share with me either I ams that you have developed or create one for yourself in this moment, right here, right now?
I would probably say I am unique. I am open-minded, and I am. I don't know.
You do know.
I've done it before. I did some exercise I was doing with therapy was to do 1,000 of them in one sitting session. So I did it, and I wrote them down and I counted them. I did all 1,000, but that was a while ago.
Wow.
Since then, I haven't really gotten into it. I haven't really felt the need for that in my life, but it's pretty great exercise for anyone who is feeling unsure of themselves or not really sure what they want to do or where they are in life. It's pretty cool.
Beautiful. Yeah, I'm feeling one for you right now. If I may share it with you, this is my gift to you, sharing. I'd say that I am whole. Trevor is whole. WHOLE, not the other whole, but WHOLE. You are whole. You are beautiful just as you are.
Definitely.
You are all that you need to be in this moment, and you are right where you're at.
I like that.
You're welcome, Trevor. We're just about coming up on the hour in a few minutes, believe it or not. And what I'd like to do is invite you to share some closing thoughts or words that that you're feeling in this moment as we finish up wrap up our conversation. Perhaps maybe there is someone out there. We have a global community today. We've got people coming in from all over the world, and so perhaps maybe there is somebody that needs to hear something that you're about to share with them about where they're at in their own life, or they're contemplating graduating high school and what they're going to do with themselves, what they think they're supposed to do, and if you have any words of wisdom, I'd like you to share it right now.
Well, aupairworld.com is the website I use. It's a pretty well-known site just to find my job abroad. Everyone asks me how I found a job in Germany. I'm like, the internet. You can do anything on the internet. You can apply for jobs, and I Skyped them, got to know them pretty well. You can interview, meet people that way. It's kind of amazing. I don't think a lot of people take advantage of the internet. All my friends just play games and stuff. But yeah, you can connect with people all over the world, as you just said. So I think that's amazing. But I think meditation is huge. I think everyone should at least try meditation. It's kind of just good for your mental, good for your psyche.
Thank you for sharing that, Trevor. By the way, I have a number of people that are in my community that are part of the work that I do today, and some of them come in from Germany. I'm not sure how close or far they are from you, but at some point in the near future, I would like to connect you with them. And if you should decide to reach out to them, I'm sure they would love to host a breakfast, a lunch, or an afternoon. And a couple of them in mind come to my mind. They do nature walks, they do hike, they do camp out. And so I'm definitely going to connect you with a couple of friends of mine that live overseas in Germany. And
that'd be really cool.
All right, so we'll do that. And I hope that you have the courage to share our conversation today with your family, because I think there's so much for them to be proud of, and I know they are already. But this is just another opportunity for your sister and your mom and your dad to see you at your finest moment. In this moment, pushing through perhaps another level of uncertainty. I didn't know if you'd even say yes. I put the invite out, and I knew that there was a 50-50 chance that you may say no. I'm too busy. I don't have time. I'm leaving tomorrow. But once again, you said yes. You said yes for yourself, and you showed up. And I am so honored and humbled to call you friend, and I have you in my life. And I know that no matter where you travel to, no matter what country you come in from, we will always be connected, because I am just a video chat away. And I know that you are just a video chat away. And even though we're going to have some time zones to play with, I play with it every day because I coach internationally and I have friendships all over the world today. So time zones is not a barrier for us to connect and continue the conversations that we have, so that we can be here for each other, because the teacher shows up when the student is ready. And just as you have reached out to me for me to be there for you, you also are my teacher, and you teach me a lot about courage, about strength, about respect, about self-love, about self-compassion. And I love you for that, Trevor. So thank you for showing up in my life today.
I appreciate you.
And with that, I'd like to thank all of you that have joined us from around the world, coming in from Germany, the Netherlands, Australia, the UK, South America, North America, Canada, perhaps even maybe Asia, Indonesia. Thank you for joining us on Real Men, Real Talk Raw. Safe travels, my friend, and we'll be in touch.
Bye. Thank you so much, Jay.
Take care all.